Hello folks, and I hope you're all doing good. Now in this video, we will be discussing about the result type in Rust, which is another special kind of enum, and we use it to define outcomes of operations that can either be a success or a failure. Now, if you're following the Rust book, this is something you will find in chapter 9, section 2, and we have recoverable errors with result. And here we have an enum result that takes basically two generic types, T and E, and we have two fields, OK and error. OK is of the type T, which basically means our success, and error is of the type E, which means our failure. Now, you can also follow my blog in Hashnote about the result time in Rust, and this is precisely what we will be doing today. So, let's get back to our VS Code and let's see how we can use results. Now, we will be using a very common problem to understand results, and that is a divide by zero error. So, I will first of all create one function, and let's name this function as safe divide because this function checks whether we are doing the division safely or not. And let's say we have two input parameters and we have numerators, numerator of the type i32, and then we have a denominator of the type i32 once again. And the result will be of the type result. And we will be passing i32 in case we have a success. And in case we have a failure, we will be passing one static string. And inside, we will be writing our logic. So I will first of all write if denominator equals to 0, then we have a problem because we cannot divide the numerator by 0. So I will pass error and let me write division by 0 is not allowed. And otherwise, when the denominator is not 0, we have a perfectly okay example. So we will do a numerator divided by denominator. Now inside our main function, we have to call this and we will use match to call them. So first of all, I will do a match and what we will do is do a safe divide and let's divide 10 by 2, which is acceptable. And what we want to do is in case our result is correct, let's say we will have a res over here and we simply want to do a println and let me simply write result equals to and then our res, and otherwise we will have an error. So error. And in this case, let's say we simply want to do another println and let's do an error println this time. And let's simply print out our errors. So error equals to colon our error. Now we all know that what will be the result of this. And this is a success. So we will have the result of 5. So result equals to 5. Now let's try to create a failure. So I will do a safe divide of 10 divided by 0, let's say. And let's do a cargo run once again. And we will have a result equals to 5 and then division by 0 is not allowed. Now, this is one very simple example to understand how result works and how it differentiates between our OK and our error. Now, let's try to understand the same by a more complex example and we will take the example of whether or not our program is able to read one text file or not. And to do that, first of all, we need to create another function and let me name the function as read file content. And it will take the file path as an input and this will be of the type of a string slice and the output will be our result. The success type will be a string and let's say the failure type will be an error. Now to do our read file content we have to do some imports also. So from our standard library we will be importing fs, and from fs we will import file and we will also import io, and from io we will be importing error and read. That's sufficient. And now we can write our logic inside our read file content. So first of all, what we need. So first of all, we need to open our file. So we have our file path and let's say we have a file result now. And this file result will be file open and our file path. And then we will have a match with our file result. And the match will have two things. The first part is our OK. And inside the OK, let's say we have one mut file And then we want to basically read our files because OK means this is our success case. And we will have a second case, and that second case is our error case. And error case basically means that we are not able to read the file. And we will be simply doing error of error. So this is our string that we are passing over here, and this is our error that we are passing over here. And that's all about our read file content. But we also have to write the logic inside our MUT file. Here we will have one MUT content, which is basically a string for now. But we don't know what is the string because we have not yet read the file. And then we will have another match file dot read to string, and inside I will pass a reference to my MUT content. And here we will have another basically OK and one error. So this OK will not be having a variable that we will be using. So I will give one basically one blank space, you can say. And what we will be passing is OK content. And next we will have error, and this error will have content some error, and we will be passing error. So there are two kinds of OK and two kinds of error. And that is because this error here, it means that there is some issue while reading the file. And this kind of error is basically some bigger error. That means it is not able to find the file or something like that. So that is why we will be having two kinds of errors, but OK is actually of one kind only. So it should be OK here and then OK here. Finally, it will be passed as the result and whatever we have. So our read file content is ready. Now inside our main function, we have to find some file and then we have to read it. So on top, I will write another match, and this match will basically do our read file content. And let's say we want to read some file that is named file.txt. Now there is no file inside our result called file.txt, but that is fine because we have some error cases. And let's see what kind of error we get. And inside we have our OK content. And let's say I will simply do a println, and let's simply output the file content. So file content, and let's write our content here. And next we have error, and let's do one println, and let's simply output our error. So error while trying to read file, because we don't know which kind of error we are getting trying to read file, but we will be getting the details here because we have a variable. And let's see what we get. So I will do a cargo run now, building, and we have error while trying to read file, no such file or directory. And that is correct, we have no such files or directories. So I will create one file.txt here, and let me write this is a test file to do stuff. And let's do a cargo run once again. And file content, this is a test file to do stuff, result equals to 5, and lastly we have the other results. Now I'm not sure how to trigger this error, but this is a safety measure, you can say. And since Rust is a very safe language, we shouldn't be complaining about using our results. So this is how basically we can use results to safeguard our programs. And I'm sure that you will agree with me that this is a very simple and fun concept. Now, if you have learned something new in this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe because it gives me a lot of motivation to keep on making videos like this. And that's all for this video. And once again, I will see you next time.